Hello, Weekly Bump Crew. Welcome back. I'm so happy to be here. Oh my gosh, I can't even stop smiling. I was so excited. I wanted to do this like on Monday, and I was like, okay, I have to wait. And then Tuesday, I'm like, oh, can I do it? No, I gotta wait, It's just super excited. I'll tell you that my little journey that I've been doing the past couple months that I'm documenting on my other channel, shameless plug, again, don't worry, I'll plug it every week. I am like enthusiastic about life. Like for the first time in a really long time, I woke up at 3:11 this morning, just like energized, like, okay, I'm ready to start my day. So I just woke up at like 3 in the morning and made my coffee and did my thing, and I read and I did some private readings, and now I'm doing this, and it's 6:30 in the morning. It's amazing. I'm like changing a lot of my programming. It's awesome. What do the cards have to say? And then we'll talk about the stars. There's a lot to talk about. 10 of Cups, the World, and the King of Wands. I mean, aren't we ready for this? Isn't this like what we've been waiting for? Just to feel good and just to feel happy and to like have this sense of fulfillment. I mean, this is what it's all about. This is being able to live in the moment, being able to live in the now, to not worry about tomorrow, and feel like in this moment, you really do have everything you need. And you have your soul behind you. You have the people that love you behind you. You have your own faith in yourself. You have your own faith in your projects. And there really are no obstacles standing in front of you. The only obstacles, if you're experiencing obstacles, are the ones you set for yourself. But here, there is no reason to be setting obstacles for yourself because it is blue skies just all right in front of you. Okay, there's no stormy waters unless you create them. You can create stormy waters all you want. You can do that, and you can create turbulence, and you can create disruption, and you can be sad, and you can sulk and hide in the deep, dark corners of your psyche. You can do that. But why would you want to? Why would you want to do that? Sorry. And then we have the World coming out. The World is the closing of a chapter. It is slow. There's nothing fast about either of these energies. It's not like this big, tower moment. If we get the Eight of Wands, I may change my tune a little bit, but for right now, it's still slow progress. But there's it's kind of like a blank slate. We can reset our minds. We can reprogram this software that we're operating, and we'll never have to live those experiences again if we don't want to. Plain and simple. We are setting the reboot button here. And I think what's happening is our ego is taking a back seat because we were humbled. And I've been talking about the humility of the past, kind of few transits right now, for a while. And the humility factor is so liberating. It is through humility that we are liberated, right? Because it is our ego that imprisons us. It is our personality that imprisons us, right? So here you are putting your ego, putting your personality in its place and really allowing the soul to guide you. And I think we are feeling the bigness of this because of the Scorpio quality, right? The Scorpio no moon that's happening like right now. We've got just gigantic stuff. And we're doing it one day at a time, which is the only way that we can do it. It's the only way that we can experience it. We're setting our sights high, which is great, but again, humbly, and with an air of service to our soul, tapping into our sense of utility. How could we be used? How can I use my personality rather than be trapped by it? How can I use my ego rather than be confined by it? Right? Queen of Swords, upright, super on point. Four of Swords reversed. Yes, Mercury coming into his retrograde station in Sagittarius. For me, it's happening in my third house, so I've got all that Gemini, Mercury, Sagittarius stuff going on for me personally. Which may account for my chattiness today. You guys know how Gemini energy affects me. But we have sharpness of mind, no doubt. Sharpness of mind, no doubt. And she serves very well, actually, a King of Wands reversed. I like these two combined, upright or reverse. It doesn't matter. The air and fire combination, that combustible quality, is really what ignites our passion. It's really what ignites our new path. And it starts us off on that track. She's in the driver's seat here, right? Whereas this is kind of, like I said, it's being placed in the back seat just for now. We'll know when we need to use that ego. We'll know when we need to speak up and use that power of self-expression that is so beautiful with the Leo archetype, right? Which the King of Wands is the Leo, right? So when we know how to tap into that Leo quality, but for right now, we're keeping everything balanced, right? With the Libra archetype coming out with the Queen of Swords. She's about evenness and diplomacy and elegance, grace, the aesthetic of forward motion. This doesn't have to be this big, clumsy, dramatic thing, right? This closing out of a chapter. I don't think that anyone's chapter is being closed in a clumsy way. There may have been dramatic stuff, but it's not clumsy. It is so on point, and it is so exactly the way it should be. And I think that people that made dramatic shifts in their life, they're feeling very much at peace, even though they're witnessing the fallout of what the heck just happened. They're witnessing the fallout, but they're like, I know that that was what needed to be done. And there's no question. There's no question in their mind that they did the right thing. There can't be any questions because if she was reversed, yeah, questions all over the place. I know that it's going to be hard for us to quiet our minds, and so this is kind of counter, where is she? He's kind of, Four of Swords is kind of counterintuitive or counterproductive for the Queen of Swords, because Queen of Swords is the knowing and the surety and the clarity. Four of Swords reversed is probably the Mercury retrograde kicking in. It's the logic and the rationalization and the justification and the making excuses for things. Like, just stop. You know, we have to just stop that process. We have the power to just stop it. The Ten of Cups is going to come in and just be like, you know what, there's no space for this. I just want to, there's no space. There's no space for jabber. There's no space for extraneous chatter in our minds. There's no space for... you just don't have the energy for it. I don't think anyone does. No one has the energy for the lack of peace right now. And I think a lot of us are going to be doing whatever we really need to do in order to find that peace. If you need to eject. Okay, push the eject button. Get yourself out of there. Get yourself out of that situation. Healing is well underway, especially for those of you that had dramatic stuff happening past couple weeks. Don't worry. The universe is right behind you. It's sweeping up all the pieces. Don't worry. It's all coming online for you. For anyone that's feeling pessimistic about the future, that's you just getting trapped by your own ego, right? Allow life to wash over you the way a wave crashes upon the shore. There's nothing you can do. I'm sorry. That's just what happens. For those of you who have had no drama, like me, like my life has been amazing during this Venus retrograde. I can't even describe to you how amazing it's been. And yet at the same time, it's still like, let's just wait and see how this unfolds. Let's not push. Let's not try to make anything be anything other than what it is, because we know how the process of life works now. I think we have enough information. If you weren't enlightened before, I suspect you are enlightened now, right? And you see how it works, okay? And when you do that, what you can expect is actually a deluge of information, right? This huge download of information that occurs when Mercury goes retrograde. Like, we start thinking about things in a totally different kind of way, plus the Jupiter coming in, plus the nodes shifting. I mean, there's so much happening in the realm of understanding who we are and feeling that sense of like, yes, I'm so sure of this is who I am. And I say that, you know, Cancer is like the womb of creation. It's the driving force. It's the root cause of why all of this happened, right? Cancerian quality is powerful. It is cardinal. It is forward moving. It is abrupt sometimes as well. It can be, you know, it's water, it's fluid, it's feminine, can be a little bit unpredictable as well. And so when we're all as a global collective moving forward into the Cancerian quality, we are all questioning our place in existence right now. All of us. And what do we get? The Queen of Cups, the Cancer card. Ace of Coins coming out. And the Death card, no doubt. We'll finish it up with that, of course. Obviously, transformation. Can we say that word enough times? I'm getting sick of saying it. But all of life is just one big, gigantic transformation anyway. That's why we're all here, right? To change and to ascend. And you cannot ascend without closing something out, without leaving lower vibrations behind. That's what you're doing. You're leaving low vibrations behind, and you're jacking yourself up there higher and higher and higher and higher. And in so doing, new doors open, new kinds of ways of seeing the world come online, new perspectives. There's more compassion in the air. There's more compassion for other people because you really do see yourself in others and you see them in yourself. And you're working through a lot of that illusionary barriers, those illusionary boundaries that you've set for yourself. Ace of Coins comes in and says, look, this is your reality. This is your reality. Let me show you in a physical way what is going on inside. More money? Well, you've earned it somehow, right? New doors opening? Well, you've adjusted your frequency to that. Don't be so quick to assume coincidences. I think everyone here on this weekly bump show, I don't know, this little segment, I know that you guys know the coincidences are not, that's not real. It's not a real thing. There are only synchronicities. There is only cause and effect. And there is a cause for every effect, without a doubt. And you and your vibrational frequency is the cause. And you are the master here. You are the controller, whether you know it or not. If you are in the controller seat and you don't know you're in the controller seat, that's when we create disasters in our life. When we're in the controller seat and we know we're there and we know what we're supposed to do, that's when beautiful things start to happen. So are you ready for the beautiful things to start to happen? Are you ready? Because now you have an opportunity to get in that controller seat purposefully, grab the controllers, and start directing your life in a proper way. Will there be obstacles? Yes, of course. Will there be challenges? Yes, of course. But who cares? Obstacles and challenges have nothing on a master. And that's what you are all becoming. You are becoming masters. Slowly but surely, you are ascending up the scale. And Venus retrograde made sure of that, right? She made sure that the low vibe stuff is done. It's done, it's over. She made sure that your value systems were changed. She made sure you are being authentic and you are being true. And she's forcing you into a whole completely new way of existence now. You can revert backwards if you want, but just be prepared for the aftermath, okay? And there will be aftermath, for sure. So let's talk about the new moon in Scorpio for just a minute. I'm happy about this new moon. It's conjunct my moon. I think my moon is 16 degrees. So this is happening at 15 degrees of Scorpio. So it's like right there on my moon. So be sure to be doing your new moon meditations and setting those intentions. Those intentions of who you want to become. That's Scorpio, the state of becoming. And that's I just happened to even see this on the bottom of the deck. There's no reason for us to be afraid of what we could potentially be. If we all continue to live in this fear, I mean, imagine if Martin Luther King Jr., who I always reference because I've got his books right here and I think about his speeches and stuff all the time. if he was afraid? Anyone else in history that you respect and you admire, could you imagine if they were afraid? It's not time for that. We can't do that to ourselves. We can't do that to the world. It's our duty to bring our absolute best to the world, 100%. It's our duty to not be afraid, but to live in a constant state of courageousness. And the new moon in Scorpio, do your meditations and say, I'm ready. I'm ready to be what I'm meant to be. Take me there. And it will take you. Jupiter in Sagittarius wants to take you. It's like, yeah, come on, let's go. Come on, it's going to be fun. Let me show you. Let me show you the way. Let me show you how this is going to work. Let me show you what you're capable of. Let me push you. Let me drive you. Let me teach you. Jupiter is the fun teacher. He's like the Econ 101 teacher, like general education courses that you have to take in business school and no one really likes to, but that's the class you learn the most in because it's the most entertaining. It's the most, fun, and there's acronyms and little things to help you remember, and there's little exercises and group activities that you do where you really connected with people. And that was the class in university that really made one of the most, significant impacts on your life. And he's coming back home. Jupiter is coming back home, and he's ready to set us free. Jupiter in Scorpio was somewhat illusionary, wasn't it? For me, it was. I think it had a lot to do with the Neptune trine going on. The trining is beautiful. It's a harmonious aspect. But it also sometimes is a little bit too easy sometimes, the growth is a little bit too easy, or it's just we're a little bit too connected or a little too creative or something. And things don't have that opportunity to really take hold the way that they could otherwise. And I feel like that's what the Jupiter in Scorpio was really like. We had all these expectations of, Jupiter leaving Libra was all about us learning about who we are through the eyes of other people. That's what it was all about, really. And people that got into relationships, beautiful relationships, yes, of course, but you learned about you. People that got in bad relationships, you learned about you. That was the time when I was in Bali and I was trying to date and I was trying to make friends and I was trying to connect with people professionally. And it was so hard for me, right? But I learned more about myself in that year than I had probably in the past 6 years combined, right? That was really beneficial. So when we prepared for Jupiter to leave Libra and enter into Scorpio, there was this whole Scorpio is about money, it's productivity, there's so much greatness that can happen. Maybe there's a sexual component there. And there was a lot of excitement around this transit, and there was a lot of balls rolling, we got the ball rolling, moving really quickly in the beginning of 2018. And, Sagittarius Capricorn season of last year. And we had all these planets going direct. Mars was in Scorpio, and there was just all this power and all this drive and all this ambition in the air. And we were all feeling this wheel of, I remember doing the weekly bumps and the wheel of fortune kept coming out. But yet it was there was still something. And it was it didn't quite take hold yet. And what we didn't realize, I don't think, was that inner part was changing. We knew it intellectually. Okay, Jupiter and Scorpio. Oh, it's transformative. Our favorite word. But we had to experience it. We had to go through it. And we had to allow it to do its thing. We, again, don't have a lot of control, really, when we're learning. We just have to let that learning occur. And I think a lot of us saw, me for the first time, really, conscious mental alchemy taking place. People who are practicing alchemists, they're yeah, of course, no doubt. And they were doing it the whole time. But people that are newbies like me, oh, that's what alchemy is. That's what transmutation is. That's what polarization is. Oh, I can just look at something differently. I can just see it, and I can just turn it into something else. And there was this light bulb clicking, little light bulbs, little ones kind of triggering all year, just like boom, 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 one after another, one after another, one after another. And now we're finishing up this cycle. And I think Sagittarius is going to prepare us of like the true esoteric quality of this understanding before it moves into Capricorn, when we're going to have the application capability. So in 2020, end of 2019, actually, when Jupiter enters into Capricorn, we're going to have this ability to put to use all this new information. So pay attention, reflect back on the past year when Jupiter was in Scorpio, because there are huge lessons to be learned. And if you don't reflect back, it's not going to click. You have to think about the process. You have to think about the state of becoming that was 2018, okay? And 2019, you will be all in your like, wow, this is so amazing. And I think we're all really going to be coming online and really stepping into our own and feeling good about who we are becoming and feeling good about what we're doing. And then Jupiter Capricorn, it's like, here's all the benefits of all your hard work. Like here's everything that you deserve, right? Because Capricorn is an application sign. It's about using the stuff. It's not good to just like have the understanding. That's not wisdom. Wisdom is applying it, okay? And then Venus, like I said, still finishing out her retrograde. She'll be coming back direct again. I'm doing her opposition again with Uranus. So if anything is still unresolved, I think that will be kind of the final definitive moment. And then she'll be continuing to make her way through Scorpio again, continuing the essence of authenticity. At the same time Mercury is retrograde, at the same time Jupiter enters into Sagittarius, and at the same time the nodes transition into Cancer Capricorn, right? So the Scorpio authenticity, humility, rawness, and the intensity and the drive, all still very much present at this time. And when the nodes come in, like I said, the North Node in Cancer, the wave, like, because the North Node in Leo, there was such a focus on wanting to be somebody, I think. Wanting to be relevant, wanting to be special, wanting to be heard, wanting to be noticed and cared about. And there was this humanity and my place in humanity and where do I belong, but it was still very individualistic, as is Leo, individualistic. It's about being the absolute best and enjoying ourselves, even though enjoyment was difficult to come by for a lot of people, not everybody, but for a lot of people. But we're trying to figure out this sense of me and what I'm able to create and what I bring to the table and what makes me unique. One thing I love about Leo, and I have my Venus in Leo, and one thing I love about the Leo energy is this sense of wanting things that are one of a kind. And that's like true for me, like even my jewelry kind of thing. Yes, they're silver hoops, but the story behind them is special and unique for me. This ring is special and unique for me. There's little thing, nothing really here in this room, but there's little things in my house that are special and unique to me, like things that no one would ever have, and things that no one knows the story behind. And so there's this element of it's not about having the most expensive stuff or being the most expensive or extravagant lifestyle or anything like that, but it's about being the most unique. And I think our uniqueness as a collective became important the past 18 months, for the node transition, 18 months. And we developed that, but we also had a sense of caring about humanity as well. And we were just trying to find our footing, just trying to figure out how we fit and how our individual values and goals could be applied to the greater good. So now as the nodes move, the whole global collective shift, the whole focus is now on this Cancerian, I call it again, like I said before, the womb of creation energy. Where did we come from? And there will be a lot of psychology stuff going on, I believe. Cancer is so deep though, fourth house stuff, it's so deep, it is so sensitive, and it is so etheric, and it is a whole different level. And people that aren't used to water energies, like if you have a lot of fire or air or even earth in your chart, the water can be really heavy. And so there's this journey, whereas we were like trying to figure out what made us so special and what made us so unique. Now it's like, okay, well, where did we really come from? And where does this past play into my future? We're deciding to leave behind our structures, right, Capricorn? We're leaving that back there. We're headed toward the home environment. We're headed toward what makes us safe. And I think a lot of us are going to be creating these safe emotional environments for ourselves, right? We're not trying to get in relationships with bad people anymore. We're trying to get into relationships with good people. We're trying not to go out and, party so much maybe. We're trying to create stability for ourselves. We're trying to establish grounding, establish roots, and provide roots for our children and provide roots for our family. And we're trying to be there for each other. There's an inclusive quality with Cancer, even though it's the fourth house, right? All houses 1 through 6 are about the individual, but there's more to it than that. It is family, your family, and the people that are absolutely closest to you. Putting into place the things that Capricorn really represents, which is status a lot of times. It's accolades, it's reputation, it's your public sort of persona, it's how other people see you. And that becoming less relevant, right? Becoming less relevant because you need the emotional security at home. You need the emotional security in your heart so that you can flourish in those public arenas. Not focusing on the public arena so you can have emotional safety at home, right? It's got to go the other way around, which is right now, it's where we need to be. So I'm excited for the North Node in Cancer, but Cancerians, Capricorns, you've already been getting hit so hard with the Pluto-Saturn stuff. This is going to be no joke in terms of aligning you with your future. For those of you who will feel frustrated by this energy, I understand, and I think a lot of people are going to understand, especially your conscious friends. They're going to understand that your life is going to shift rapidly, even more so. Unfortunately, you guys kind of aren't really getting a break until Saturn leaves and until Pluto leaves, and then it's going to be Leo and Aquarius that starts kind of going with all that stuff. But, for now, you are on the docket. Cancer, Capricorn, and the other cardinals as well, with the squaring qualities, Aries, Libra, and really feeling compelled, like the universe is insisting that you make these alignment adjustments now. And there will be dramatic shifts, even more dramatic for you. Eclipse season in your signs. I mean, that's relevant in so many ways. So huge waves of releasing, releasing and manifesting, right? Releasing and setting those intentions. So look out for yourself, be smart, be humble, and everything is going to be just exactly the way it's supposed to be. All right, you guys, thank you so much. I hope you have an amazing Wednesday, and I will see you on Friday for the Love Bites. Thank you guys so much. Take care.